All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another season of Milwaukee Sting Volleyball. I'm so excited that we're starting back up again. I'm excited that you guys are back in the gym today. So awesome. I wanted to put together a presentation, some activities for you guys to do, players and parents together. We're going to be talking about positivity and support and using communication to foster a growth mindset. So I'm going to first talk about my role at Sting and what mental performance is. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Coach Busy. I will be an assistant on 16 Gold this year, as well as our club's mental performance coach, which has been my role for the past couple of years. Let's talk about what we think mental performance is. So essentially, it is all of our non-physical volleyball skills that help us succeed. So nothing that you're going to train physically in the gym with your coaches, but everything else that you do as an athlete that helps you succeed that aren't physical skills. So some of these include focus, confidence, communication, leadership abilities, team building, mindfulness, emotional regulation. That's all things that we don't necessarily train in terms of our physical skills, but are included in practices, games, everything else we kind of deal with on the court. Those are mental performance skills. So that is my area of expertise. That is what I studied. This is part of my job right now. Those are all mental performance related. Why is mental performance important? So we train a lot at Sting. We're a top 20 club in the country. We succeed really well in terms of our physical skills. We have really good training coaches. We do really well at tournaments. All this stuff is important, but I don't believe we get there just by training our bodies in the gym. I think mental performance goes hand in hand with that. So I have a quote from Dana Recke. We all know her. One of the best college volleyball players ever. She played at Wisconsin. She said a lot of people think about the physical side of our sport, but the mental side is more important, in my opinion. I figured out a lot of things about myself that maybe I once would not have agreed with, but if it's going to make me better, I'm going to realize that and move forward with it. So we're talking about a top volleyball player really in the country saying that this is important, training our minds and all of the non-physical stuff is super important too. And I do both. I'm a coach and I'm a mental performance coach. I know they're both really important, but we want to also focus on our mental performance as well. So more about my role at Sting. There I am last year, and in the same sort of thing that you guys are doing today, all the players back in the gym, I'm talking to the 10s through 14s, just kind of giving a workshop and a talk there. So some of the things I do at Sting, I do team workshops. So coaches last year would call me in and say, hey, we really need work on, we make mistakes and we get really quiet and we don't communicate that well. I come in for a half hour, we talk about that, do an activity, get a little bit better at it. Sometimes it's about, performance anxiety. Sometimes it's about leadership or team building, whole range of things I could do workshops on. Conflict resolution, communication, stuff like that. Lots of stuff I can and do workshops on. If you have things as you go through your season, you think, Coach, I really want us to work on this, it would be a great time to kind of bring me in and come meet with your team. I have a mental performance plan for the year and some monthly videos I'll be sending out to teams. So last year, a lot of teams actually did these as a team. So they would gather in an office at Sting and watch the videos and do the activities together. Really great. You could also do them on your own, depending on what your coach wants. But the entire club will be kind of following this mental performance training plan this year, including the monthly videos. I also meet with athletes individually on the side, either at Sting or on Zoom. So if there's something you're struggling with specifically that you would want help with, that would be something to talk to your parents about. Your parents might communicate that with me. Same sort of stuff you'd work on, performance anxiety, emotional regulation, stuff like that. But we meet one-on-one. It's all confidential. Your coaches wouldn't know unless you told them, other teammates wouldn't know. It's all just, kind of one-on-one individual sessions as well for some extra help. Last year I did some consultation with coaches too. So coaches are like, I need help talking to my athletes about this, or, we're struggling with this. That would just be more one-on-one conversations with coaches. Something that Janelle and I are going to do this year is monthly meetings with teams and athletes. So just coming in, everyone together. I mean, like, what do you guys see? What's going well? What do you want support with? And I will be part of the majority of those meetings as well, just to get the other side of it, see if anything I can do on my end to help with any conflicts or anything that you guys would want to work on. How to connect with me. So this all sounds great. How would you connect with me? There's my email. That's also on the website, I believe. There's an email on the website too. The Milwaukee Sting one is not my email. This is the email that I would use if you want to connect with me. And I will be in the gym with my team Thursdays and Sundays, but I will come in extra hours those days. Most Sundays, every Thursday, just to be available if you can drop by, or if you want to meet, those would be my times to kind of meet with me. Again, feel free to always reach out or connect with me that way. I also am just kind of around. So if you see me in the gym or at tournaments and want to give me feedback or have things you want to, talk with me about, I'm pretty approachable. I'm a nice gal. So come in and chat with me if you want. I'm happy to talk things out with you. I just wanted to include this. So if you guys didn't see videos last year, if you're new to the club, this is kind of what it looked like. I would put out videos just like kind of the one I'm doing now. They would be available to every athlete at Sting. They're also on my YouTube page. So they would look something like this, run through, be about 10 or 15-minute videos with pauses to do some activities and work on some really good mental skills. So it'll be kind of what it looks like this year as well. And this is what the video is like. All right, moving on to what we want to talk about today. So big thing that I want to preach this year is support between teammates, support between parents and athletes, and support between coaches, parents, and athletes, all of us on the same page about communication and our support. So you guys are going to do an activity to start, and I'll have you pause the video once I explain it. That kind of details what I mean by communication and support. So you are going to partner up with your parents, if you're with your parents, or a teammate. Not right now, but once we pause the video and I say go, everyone is going to get a turn to recite the ABCs backwards. So it's not easy. I practiced this when I was making this. But while your partner or someone in your group is reciting the ABCs backwards, I want you to be in their ear, kind of giving them feedback about how they're doing. But I want it to be like more distracting and negative and unhelpful things. So not mean, we're not going to put each other down, but saying things like, oh, you messed up or you went slow. You are probably thinking you're the mental performance coach. You're telling us to be mean. I promise it has a point. This is the only time I would say to do this, but I want you to be like the distraction in someone's head that they would normally have, but be external. So saying these things out loud. You guys are going to repeat this until both partners or all partners have had their turn, and then you can resume the video. So go ahead, pause the video, try this out, and then I'll explain why we did this and why it forced you guys to be distracting or negative to each other. So go ahead, pause the video and do that. All right, hopefully that was all good. No super negativity, but why do we do this? So the biggest way we can support each other on the court and off the court, I believe, is through the way we communicate to each other. So our mental script, which is the things that we say to ourselves in our head, should always be used to build confidence. And it should sound like what we would want our support systems to be telling us. So that activity forces you to see the other side of how unhelpful it is when we say negative things to ourselves, when people say negative things to us, things that are distracting and that aren't helping us build our skills or build confidence. Never, ever want to do that. We always want to be building confidence. We always want to be sounding like what we would want our support systems to be telling us. So things like, great job, your arm swing looks great today. I know you lost, but your communication was awesome. You're working so hard. These are all really great ways to build support. It's nothing negative. It's nothing distracting. You would want to talk to your child, or you'd want to talk to yourself as a player or your teammate in these supportive ways. So anything that is the opposite of what sometimes our negative thoughts would tell us. Our mental script and communication should never be negative. So I know I just forced you to do that, but that was just to prove the point that we should never be negative. I want you guys to imagine talking to a teammate the way we talk to ourselves when we're stressed. So I get stressed sometimes at work and I think, oh, I'm doing a horrible job. I would never say to my coworker, you're doing a horrible job. That's just mean. And it's not going to make them feel good. I want to make sure I'm making myself feel good too. So, okay, examples like this are like, you're bad. This is horrible today. You did so much better than Busy did. Like comparisons, also not good. I use my own name just, to the sake of not using anyone else's, but things like that, we definitely want to avoid. So any sort of comparisons, anything bad, should always be support or feedback that is really things that people can work on. Xing, no negatives, none of that stuff. The X is a good representation of that. So let's shift just a little bit and talk about team culture and kind of what that looks like. So quick show of hands, when I say set a goal for the season, how many of you think like win nationals or top 3 at every tournament or win Badger regions? Yes, I can't see it. I'm not there, but I hope a lot of hands are raised because a lot of times we talk about goals. This is what I hear from every team every year. We want to win nationals or be on the podium. We want to finish top 3 at every qualifier, and we want to win Badger regions. Anything about winning or getting really far, that's always our goals for the season. Are these goals bad? No, we want to succeed. We come here to train for the best club in the state, one of the best clubs in the country. We want to do well, of course, but these big goals, although helpful and nice to imagine, they are impossible to achieve at practice or in every match of the season or throughout the season in general. So your goal to win nationals is impossible to achieve right now in October. We're not even at nationals. We haven't even practiced yet. And I think probably a lot of gyms in the entire country are saying the same thing, that they want to do the same thing. So we want to be have a little bit better perspective with our goals, not just say like win nationals, because that's fun to imagine, but that doesn't help me right now in October because I ain't in Chicago. I'm in Milwaukee. I'm not even at nationals yet. I haven't even picked my team yet. So I can't even think about that. So we got to break that down a little bit. So another helpful way to be positive and to track progress is think about small goals in the way we communicate instead of the big goals. So process, not the outcome. Process, not the outcome. So these are some examples of things that you could say to your teammates, you could say to yourselves, or parents can say to players, what have you been working on in practice? What are the things you're improving on? Your serving looks so strong today. What do you think went well today? I saw you encouraging your teammates a lot. Not just with each other and your families, but also within your team. This is a great way to be more process focused and not outcome, because if we don't accomplish all these goals, you might feel really bad at the end of tournaments at the end of the season, but you actually maybe improved a lot and you did have a lot of success too. We want to make sure we're focusing on the small steps, because I promise that gets us to these big goals. We can't get there without doing this stuff. So really good to watch this language as well. Awesome. What do we think? All good? I hope. I can't hear you or see you, but you guys, big takeaways from today. Things I want you to remember is communicating with ourselves in the way that we would communicate with a teammate in terms of support, communicating with each other at home, communicating with coaches, all of us on this realm of like, you don't have to be super cheerleaderly positive all the time, but it should be effective communication and not comparisons and not negativity. That's the way we foster support, growth, and confidence. All of our big goals that we want to get to, I promise we have a way better chance of getting there if we are focusing on the process and these smaller steps to get there, and not just putting ourselves like way far in the future. So if you have any questions or comments about what I talked about today or anything in general, please email me, reach out, don't hesitate to reach out. You could also pass questions along to Janelle or Dave and they can connect with me because they're there today, I believe. So if you have any things to share with them, they could pass it along to me. As I said before, if you see me at the MSC or at tournaments or anything, like stop me, chat with me if you have feedback, if you have questions, if you want to do individual sessions, if you want me to come talk to a team, it's all fair game. This is my job. It's part of my job at Sync. So please don't hesitate to stop me and ask questions. Also, I will be posting my monthly videos on my YouTube channel. excuse me. So you guys can follow that YouTube channel. I didn't know if there's like a link that I could have posted on this. I'm sure there could have been, but this seemed either. This is just a screenshot of it. I have 8 subscribers, so we can bring those numbers up. Subscribe away. I'll be posting all the monthly videos there. If you want to watch videos from last year, if you have stuff that you want to work on before club season starts, fair game. Use any of the videos you want. But again, I'll be posting all those again this year too. Parents, players, teams, anyone that wants access to them, that's where it'll be. And I hope today's going well for you guys. I'm sad I can't be there, but I'm really excited about the season. I love club season. This is why I coach at Sing and do another job at Sing. It is the best. It's a ton of fun. It's great competition. It's like so much last year felt like a family, supportive environment. Let's keep this going. Let's make it even better this year. And as always, go Sting.